About 2 years ago, I discovered banana masa for the first time. While sitting with my auntie, she shared that growing up in Kumasi, Ababu, she used to enjoy banana masa, and often banana sellers would sell their ripest bananas to masa sellers at a discount. This was a great way to reduce food waste, and by morning kids would rush by to buy freshly made banana masa, still warm and fragrant. It was more than just a snack for her, it was a cherished part of her childhood. So join me today as I demonstrate my take on this recipe, and I hope you and your loved ones love it too. Assalamu alaikum indulgers, welcome once again to Iftar with Iti. Before we dive into this recipe, note that all the ingredients and detailed instructions are available at indulgewithit.com. Please visit my site and take a screenshot, print or save the recipe for your future use. Now let's add all our ingredients into our blender. Starting with our soaked jasmine rice, leftover torn shinkafa, half a banana, some salt, sugar, baking powder and yeast. To bring that all together, we're going to add some warm water and blend our batter until we have a consistency that resembles pancake consistency, but smooth and easy to pour. How is Ramadan treating all of you? Ya Gishirwa, Ya Ibadah. May Allah accept our efforts and our prayers. Ameen. Go ahead and pour your batter into a large mixing bowl and then proceed to cover it with some cling film or a towel. We're going to rest our batter for 1 hour or more depending on your climate until it doubles in size. We want the yeast to activate and for fermentation to take place. You can leave this batter in your fridge overnight for a more intense fermented flavor. For the purpose of this recipe, I'm using my batter the same day. Once your batter has risen beautifully, go ahead and give that a good mix and heat up your masa pan. Today I'm using a Dutch pancake cast iron pan as well as a non-stick version that I picked up from an Indian grocery store. Make sure you watch through till the end to see which instrument produces the best masa. Once your batter has risen, give it a good mix and go ahead and dish it into your preheated and oiled pan. When using a cast iron pan, you have to be very mindful of the heat. Maintain a low to medium heat at all times to ensure that you don't burn your masa before the center cooks altogether. This is one con when it comes to using the cast iron, but as long as you maintain that heat and have a decent quantity of oil in each section, you should be okay for the most part. Allow your masa to cook for 2 minutes on each side, rotating it frequently until you are satisfied with its fluffiness and the crust on the outside of your masa. Note that the cast iron tends to stick. The masa is quite stuck to the sides and I struggled with my toothpick to release it, which in turn doesn't give me that lovely signature rounded shape of masa. Another con, so to speak. Eventually, I managed to turn my masa with the aid of a spoon, but still I am not so satisfied with the shape of my masa. But of course, the taste was still incredible, and that didn't change. If you're enjoying this recipe up until this point, please go ahead and like this video and drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite Ramadan snack is. Up next, we're using our non-stick pan. I've added a sufficient amount of oil and I'm rotating it to make sure that the oil is able to spread on each section. Like I did earlier, I'm dishing out the masa in each section and I'm going to allow it to cook on each side for 2 to 3 minutes using the aid of this lid to allow it to steam even faster. Can you see already this has puffed up and it has already released. The toothpick isn't doing so much, it's just coming out with so much ease. And if you haven't guessed already, this is definitely my instrument of choice. Look how lovely the masa looks and it's maintained its signature round shape and I'm completely pleased and satisfied and I highly recommend this one. Once your masa is cooked, remove it from the hot pan, do the toothpick test to make sure it's not wet in the center and then you know for sure that it's nice and fluffy in the middle. But to be on the safe side, I allowed it to steam for another minute or two with the aid of the lid before removing it from the pan altogether. Masa is a beloved staple in many West African homes, especially during Ramadan, when light yet nourishing meals are essential for suhoor and iftar. It's also eaten a lot with soups and porridges. This banana one is on the sweeter side, but the typical masa that we make is savory, and it's eaten with mian taushe or stew or yaji, and these are things that are savory and great accompaniments with masa. I've also shared a savory version of masa on my channel. I will be linking that video in the corner of this one, so you can check that out. Masa is also slightly fermented, so it's really good for digestion. It's definitely something that children and adults alike enjoy, and I hope you guys try this one as well. If you don't have either a cast iron masa pan or a non-stick one, you can definitely make Sinasu. Sinasu is this really clever way of enjoying the masa batter as a pancake, and here I'm demonstrating how to do that in my pan. So go ahead and add your batter and spread it out like you would your pancake, and look out for those air bubbles. Remember, air bubbles are a good sign that you can flip and that your masa is on its way to being cooked. Drizzle a bit of oil to allow the sides to crisp up to give you that beautiful crust, but that's also optional. In this case, Sinasu is also commonly enjoyed in northern Nigeria and other parts of West Africa. So typically Sinasu is just cooked on the one side and then eaten as is, but I like to flip mine to develop a bit more crust on the other side as well. But go ahead and adjust that according to what you like. So now that our Sinasu and masa are all ready, let me show you how to serve. So with the masa today, I'm going to drizzle a bit of honey on that. That is how it's typically enjoyed, nice and sweet. Or you can also dust some caster sugar. My personal favorite is to enjoy mine with some honey, of course paired with some hausa cocoa, kunung kanwa, some lamujin or sobolo. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you loved this recipe as much as I did sharing it with all of you, and inshallah I'll be seeing you soon in the next episode of Ramadan with Iti.
رمضان مرحبا